so take it away, Pat.
Okay, I'm going to show you 2 goosebump techniques because it's just as easy to do 2 as it is to do 1.
Okay, what are goosebumps?
Goosebumps are made by Tusanico. It's a textural resist spray. And when you run your finger over the finished product, you can feel it, it's all a little bumpy. It's a different effect than you get from masking fluid or embossing or anything like that. Very different. So what I'm going to do is do this 2 ways. First thing I'm going to do is stamp on the cardstock. This is just regular cardstock. Usually I use very cheap cardstock, but I'm out of cheap cardstock, so it's a little bit smoother than I normally would use. And I'm just using a dye ink. I'm using a chalk ink, which is dye-based. And I'm going to spray this. Goosebumps is great with one exception. If you get it on things, it doesn't come out. So if you get it on your floor, it'll wipe up immediately from the floor. But if you let it dry, you'll have a goosebumpy little floor that's sealed in whatever's been on the floor. So I don't spray it over the floor.
That's how I can get my kitchen floor to not be sticky anymore. I'll just spray a layer of goosebumps all over the whole thing.
There you go. When you're at home, you can just hit this with a heat tool to dry it. But if you could just shake that for me just to dry it. Okay, so that's the first technique. The second technique is direct to stamp. And although I keep my stamp pristine, I don't want to spray it all over the stamp because I'm going to have to clean it up. So what I'm going to do is put it on a sponge. A cosmetic sponge will do, any sponge will do. And just go right over that stamp. And I'm going to stamp that on there. And you won't be able to see that because it's a clear image. You won't be able to see it. So this is probably good. I'll shake this one and you can shake that one. Again, you can use a heat tool on this. It doesn't negatively affect the heat tool. How you know if it's done? You should do the hand test. If it sticks to your hand, it's sticky. You don't want it sticky. You want it tacky. It's okay for it to be tacky but not sticky. The reason you don't want it sticky is because when I put the ink onto the goosebumps and then go back to my ink pad, I'll be transferring the wet goosebumps on my ink pad. So, we're still a little sticky there. There's a reason I do this technique. It's because I'm always hot and I can just, get rid of personal summer that way. Okay. So that's tacky. It just has a little tacky feel to it. With a heat tool, you won't have that issue because it'll heat right up. So I'm just going to go.
Oh, wow.
So everywhere.
That looks really cool.
Everywhere I put those goosebumps has that pretty little bumpy effect. And of course, you could leave it like that, but I can't leave it like that. So I'm going to spray that again. Spray the trash can so I don't get my husband. Spray that again. And this one's probably ready. I'm switching back to the other one now. Back to the one that had the flower on it. And I'm going to use green. Which is over here. 1 second. Use my shabby shutters. And I'm just going to go over where that was stamped. And where the image was stamped with the goosebumps, it's going to resist the goosebumps.
That just looks like an embossing.
It does.
Like an embossing clear ink resist.
It does. When used this way, it really does resemble that a lot. The good thing about goosebumps is that you can stamp right over them, even with a dye ink. And
it's not glossy.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And even though it has that texture to it, and it comes in 3 different kinds. It's I'm using shimmer right now, but there's clear and there's glossy also. So
is this opaque? If I did it on, like, would it show up on dark cardstock or is it clear?
No, it's clear. It's definitely clear. Even the glossy is clear. Now normally, I do have a damp cloth. I'm just going to go over this one with the damp cloth so that the white pops up a little bit because you want that white captured there. And then I'm going to spray this one again. Everywhere except for where my finger is. All right, so we can swap out again. A lot of work, I know.
I know.
Sorry about
Boy, I'm looking for this demo.
All right, so this is nicely done with the salty ocean. Now I'm just going to take this, and I'm using distress inks here, but you can use whatever inks you have. I just use distress inks because they're small and easy to carry when I come to a demo. And they're like Geranimals. They all kind of match a little bit. So I'm just going to go right over that. Everywhere I had the goosebumps on the white is going to stay white. And then when I sprayed it the second time, it captures the blue, and everything else is going to have that pretty blue-green look to it.
Gosh, I want to do that to my walls in my house.
I know, right?
It's so beautiful.
It'll be a little tedious.
Take a long time.
Take it from somebody who's done a demo a billion times. They feel at ease. All right, and then we can just go back over that.
Oh, nice.
And that's what it ends up looking like. And like I said, I can just use this dye ink, this dye chalking, to go right over that and stamp it, and that dries in seconds, and it's permanent.
Really?
Or sometimes when you stamp over embossing. You also can't spray embossing. You should never spray a Versamark product or anything like that, because if you inhale it, it's really bad. This has been formulated so that if you inhale it, you don't want to inhale it, but when it gets into the air, it's not toxic. All right, so this one, I'm just going to go around the edges. Look, we're a little sticky. Did you see my sponge kind of hold there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to give that a little.
You could talk a little bit about your what you offer here as far as your newsletter subscriptions too, if you like.
Okay. What I do is two things. I do the Technique Junkie newsletter, which is a printed piece that's mailed to your home every other month. It has 15 tutorials in each issue. They're presented like this in the newsletter. They're step-by-step with step-by-step here and the supply list. Online, they're step-by-step with pictures, and as a subscriber, you have access to that step-by-step with pictures. So the step-by-step with pictures are printable PDFs, and they look just like this. I give a supply list with dimensions, and then I show you, because we're also visual as stampers, I show you step-by-step what it should look like each step of the way. And then what's back behind me are CDs, and I have 11 different CDs, and they're themed. I have Move It, Shape It, Fancy Folds of Motion, 3D and Fun Folds, Emboss or Die, Stamping in Your Scrapbooks, Mini Album Mania, Shimmer, Glimmer, Sparkle, and Shine, Emboss or Die, and Stamping in Your Scrapbooks. So there's 11 different CDs, and they're all in the same step-by-step format. They have between 25 and 79 tutorials on them, and they run from $9.95 to $17.95. So that's what we do. Yes.
Can you get them on your website?
Yes, you can.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep.
And I will have a link under the video in the Show More section. If you look under the YouTube video, you can click on that and go to the Technique Junkie website and check it out and order that if you want to.
Usually I leave it so the center glows a little bit, but I've distracted myself. So we're just going to go over that whole thing there. And again, you have the spray, you have the background that's been done with the Goosebumps. And that's just two of the things that you can do with Goosebumps.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And that is the Goosebumps.
Awesome.
That's that one.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your
welcome.
tutorial. And we're going to look around the booth a little bit and see some other samples that you have on display.
Terrific. Thank you.
Great show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you can see some of her really fancy fun folds where you could find instructions on her CDs, which would be very affordable, and then you don't have to feel like you missed out on anything by being kind of late to the party since you haven't been subscribing. If you haven't been subscribing all along, if you have, you might have all this stuff already. But look at that, just some really clever cards, and it's just cardstock, it's just paper. You could do that affordably and still really stretch your supplies. I love it that they show you how to use what you already have. Like in the demo, she said you can use whatever ink you have, it's gonna be fine, whatever dye-based ink, and she'll tell you what she prefers, but you can use whatever you like. The samples are gorgeous. I've come into this booth 3 times just to look at the samples because they're so pretty. Get some over here. Look at the shoe book, it's like a flip-flop. Oh my gosh, it really is a flip-flop. That is so cute. I have to turn this over to show you. Oh my goodness, how adorable would that be for a summer vacation or a Girl Scout project? Oh no, I've messed it up. I'm gonna have to get the, well, look at, now you can see how cute it is from the top. Look at that. Lots of mini albums. She's got one that's just about mini albums, and a couple of mini albums. That is adorable. I love the star book. Look at that. If you look from the top, it looks like a star. Isn't that fun? You really get your money's worth with one of her CDs. Look at that. Lots of party favors, gift baskets that are shaped, and it's all paper, mostly paper and stuff you already have. So if you want to get more use out of the products you already own, make sure you check out the Technique Junkies website, perhaps get a subscription or pick up one of the CDs. I don't think you will regret it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.